AMT went in there as the underdog, and guess what? They dominate and demoralize ABC Esports.
Oh, yeah.
Sent them down to that lower bracket and two. But before we even talk about that, let's load up inside Summit. A close range engagement map, a close quarter to be a banger in here. We might see a lot of mixer in this matchup as we start the final game of today's Garena Regional Qualifiers 2022 Playoffs Day 1. Omega will start to kick things off on the defensive side, and AMT will start off these attackers.
Now we get to see two of the best flex players out there within Garena go toe-to-toe against each other. It's going to be Heaven versus Whoopi in this matchup. And back at that SND, it's also going to be Heaven against Whoopi. But the bigger problem is Almighty will have that double snipe setup to kind of equalize every single thing that Smart Omega can bring into this game. 12-1. Smart Omega off to a great start. Almighty on for the control for the second floor of control room, but they falter. It's just Smart Omega all over the kill feed.
Yeah, Heaven right now still have 3 kills in here, while AMT is trying to find their way back inside the matchup. They do have the power position in here, and Irfan J needs to convert this shot, but Omega's now. Good job taking use of that tactical ability. They slow it down, and now they're able to break the point one more time. Remove the contester. 33-1. This is how dominating it can get. And AMT off to a slow start. Ooh. Not looking good and risky, locking things down, cutting the cross. But AMT now slowly fighting back as they find their way into this hill. A split spawn situation can make that split spawn attack so that multi-angle push could be activated. But not really when you have Omega just crushing the gunfight department.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, P1 all on the side of Omega, but now Almighty secures the variable spawns for P2, playing this out of the Green Raider station, but they just cannot approach the hard point. Backstab though, Almighty given the god spawns, and this is just a pincer maneuver, perfection coming through. Heaven needs to win it on its gunfight. That's exactly that. They slay down the players, but Candy gets a double. Jeff Pro sustains the life of Almighty on the hill, and there's 2 players now on the side of Almighty, sustaining all of the gunfights so that the rest of the players can catch up with them. But the game of numbers now being played by Smart Omega. As they secure this hard point, they will force Almighty to double down for a super early rotation into P3. One final objective player in the name of Insane Neo manages to get a couple of more scrap points, but initially as the player in the name of Rage hops on in, he quickly annihilates him. And Almighty now, they just need to focus on doing 2 things at the same time. I don't know how smart of an idea that is.
Oh man, look at that play there. The P1 to P2 play from Smart Omega is just huge. You know, they got this huge sum of lead, and they're looking to chain this to a P3 as they look to get the break here. Candy finally will be able to get shot down. Great hold so far for AMT defending that anchor position, and that's going to lead them to places as they slowly come back with the lead that they are facing on the deficit. They need to really pop things up, and Heaven already 15 in a row, fully streaked up as well, showing in the nade. And Omega, notice how they are just slowing it down, waiting for the team to flood inside a point, but AMT continues to shut them down with the way they just play in the matchup. One more player to worry about, and that's another kill for Heaven.
For me, the perfect benchmark here is always going to be the fight between Heaven and Whoopi. Although Smart Omega is winning this out, Heaven is on fire, streaking himself up so quickly before we even complete the first round of rotations for all of those hard points. And now they try to string this over from cable car platform. Big win by Clutch King Irfan J. But XS1 Goliath, premature investment from the players of Smart Omega. But inside of a tiny little hill here, the problem for this XS1 Goliath is going to be holding on to some of those angles. So Almighty will be able to cut in and take that backstep against the XS1 Goliath, and the XS1 can't do much. This is going to be an overall problem, and this is what I mean. Those angles are going to be an issue for the XS1, but Whoopi is the one handling the XS1 Goliath. It's the best person to give this score streak to. Jeff Pro with the sneaky attacks against him, but Whoopi doesn't care. Still sustaining his life out there on the battlefield. Shut up, annihilated as well. Whoopi on fire.
Goliath seems to be the perfect play here, but Heaven shots Whoopi down with that KSP, and AMT slowly getting better map control as they look to fight things out, bully out Omega on that spawns, and Incendio will not be able to get that. And it's a good thing that Risky was able to make big-time plays, and they get to keep the foil of the point inside this game, and that's going to be very beneficial. You know, they did underperform with that P3, but they make up for it with that XS1 Goliath investments here at P4. But still, the game is still very much close. Fine, Smart Omega, they do have that P4 lockdown, but AMT, they're guaranteed to get more with the way they've been able to set up on this P1. As we go back to this reset, AMT slightly falling behind, but they are still in striking distance to get back up against Smart Omega. But then again, things just spiral out of control, and AMT might just lose it if they don't be able to find a way to get an answer to this right now. The hard point opens up, and Smart Omega will be in the point despite AMT having a better setup.
Yeah, I really don't know about Almighty dominating that P1, man, because they've been quite soft in terms of engagement against Smart Omega all throughout this Summit matchup. Although Heaven is popping off on another level, the players of Smart Omega, they've got such a tight grouping, and all of those hill breaks are just absolutely phenomenal when it comes to the execution part. Great God Nate by Kendi. Irfan J taken out from his power position, and therefore the defense that the players of Almighty have got here in this P1 will slowly start to crumble. But Incendio streaking himself up in his own accord, managing to win out a couple of gunfights, and now to catch up with Smart Omega, it's still going to be quite an uphill battle. About 40 points to go, but Almighty on a good strat here. The favorable spawns held on by player number 5, Idra, the anchor for the side of Smart Omega, does the deed, but Incendio with a very slow approach from the back throws out the Hunter Killer drone first. Hunter Killer will circle around to take out the guys who are holding on to the spawns, and the timing by Incendio with the Annihilator, way too good to take over the spawn.
Incendio's that one player that you really need in your team, you know, because he's going to be there to be the backbone and support you whenever the team needs him to be able to play. He's going to step up huge greatly for you. And right now, Incendio's got 21 kills, and not only that, was able to play behind the back and secure the spawns, and that should spawn AMT on the left side of that minimap. And now Heaven continues to slay 29 kills already. Remember, he has a 45 kills per game in hardpoint, and right now he's about to reach his 30th kill. And so far, although he's winning these gunfights, Omega seems to have that lead, better map control at the moment, but AMT starts to chain things together from P1 scrap them to P2, and now they have the anchor spot to P3. Irfan J just needs to win a little bit more in that corner, and that should be the team bullying out Smart Omega and winning this early hold in the battle. Continues inside the point, and Omega will be there with 2 players lining them up. And now Heaven, this is the perfect time to actually put an X1 Goliath. Just put down those trophy systems, and they might be able to bully out Smart Omega in this hill.
One of those rare times where you see the XS1 Goliath running away from a grenade, turns around, shuts down range. From the back, you can see the Straggler trying to take away the spawns from the side of Almighty, but Heaven trying to do too many things at the very same time. And finally, all of those players, the slide jump in front of him, Rage still annihilated, but the backstab by the players of Smart Omega, they've got the spawns, and the XS1 Goliath barely was able to do anything at all. Irfan J, on the other hand, playing for the game of life inside of the cable car platform, but annihilated by Smart Omega, who very smartly took over the spawns, and the XS1 Goliath rendered useless. Heaven tried his best, but Rage was just a little bit too annoying, and Smart Omega now, with the spawn alone, conquer the points to run away from Almighty yet again. Super early rotation by Almighty into the 4th hard point. Blue Radar Station, they want to set it up, and they want to run away, or at the very least catch up first. But let's see if Smart Omega allows them to do that, because they go in for the early rotation as well before this is unlocked, aiming to take the spawns away first.
And you know, Smart Omega, this is the best play, honestly, when you are trying to play in a one-sided hard point. Just bully out the player that will be holding the spawns of your opponent and shut up, lose that gunfight, and Rage will be able to enter inside. But it's a good thing Irfan J's operator skills is going to be there to lock the players down. And this play, this hold right now for AMT should buy them some time in the point, but look at how Smart Omega is slowing things down. 2 players lining up on the snow, and now they play for trades, and AMT just need to survive a little bit more inside that hill. Right now, the hard point is contested, but it's a good thing that AMT wins the gunfight for one more time. Irfan J now finally streaking 2 score streak earned up, but will be shot down by Whoopi in a great play by both ends. But it's just a back and forth gameplay here, but still, Omega continues to take that lead, AJ.
Oh, well played, man, by Smart Omega, just holding on to all of these points. All thanks to Whoopi mainly, who made it work within this hard point, not once, but twice now. Early on with the XS1 Goliath, this time with the KSP. The guy goes ham against Almighty, but Almighty manages to find the break of that hill towards the final few seconds. But still replaced here by Rage. He sneaks away the scrap points, and now Almighty have to find that sustenance within the first hard point. We talked about how Whoopi was just a little slow earlier on, but now 8 kills back to back make that 9. Whoopi is on fire once again.
It's just making things so easier for Smart Omega. And every time AMT falls, it makes things easier for Omega to put the points inside the hill. But finally, Omega Whoopi will be shot down in AMT. Now it's their turn to attack. They got the second floor control. But things are not going to be that easy, you know. Smart Omega is going to have unlimited reinforcements moving into this P1. And well, the contest continues to line up and AMT just can't seem to find enough time inside this hill. It's always getting contested, but finally, Irfan J will be having a 4 in a row. So with that 4 spree, this team should be able to claim time. And then again, he continues to be the continuous threat here for AMT, having 35 kills in heaven. You already know for AMT's got 42, looking to drop a 50 bomb up against Omega, but you already know as well that it's not just all about the kills here. You got to step inside that point, and AMT just is in a striking distance in here. Just need to claim the time at this P2, and now things are starting to click. Jeffro on his own 6 spree as well. AMT slowly winning their gunfight. Look at that kill feed. That's 8 in a row right now, AJ.
Oh, that's such a big kill, man, because Almighty, not only were they doing a great job at that P1, they also now start P2 off on the advantage. Why? Because they break the spawns that Smart Omega was holding over the Green Raider station first, but Smart Omega now strong-arming their way into P2. What a matchup we've got in here to close off the day. Heaven dropping in like the Angel of Death once again, but the Annihilator not able to pop off. Rage pops him instead. Pretty dropped by Irfan J. The fight of their lives. Almighty need to sneak their way back in here. But Smart Omega, with 31 seconds to go, find their way on the hill and absolutely sneaks away those crucial points towards the ending of this matchup.
And it's going to be a court. Get inside this hill, but Smart Omega will make things difficult. They're putting in the Toper system to cancel out all of the side utilities. We might see this game end in this P3, and AMT continues to stand inside the point, but the flags come through. But Whoopi gets shot down by Yavin, but the flood comes through for Smart Omega. They will bully out AMT for the moment, and the huge investment with that gravity vortex will be able to suck the life out of AMT. But the flags and of course the pinch play is about to come in and command from AMT. Incendio on the back, they gotta contest, they gotta get in fast, and now Incendio gets one, gets the second piece as well, and they will be able to maintain the point, but they can continue if Incendio plays correctly. The guy is on point, he is snapping and turning the game around for AMT. Smart Omega spawning deep behind, and AMT Irfan J buys the time. AMT, they win the match number 1.
What a play!
And that's the reason why Almighty was able to grab that map number 1. And again, Irfan J scored 43. Heaven, I believe, scored 48. And again, 40 bombs for both these ends. And now we move in to search and destroy takeoff. Long-range map, AJ, and I believe the snipers are going to be the most important part of this matchup. And you know, Whoopi, the last time he went against WPM Low Kings, he actually had a struggle playing against Luffy. So now he has to worry about 2 snipers here in Startup and Heaven. And now he needs to be streaky and needs to find the way to get those first blood to favor this team.
On the defense, thankfully, Takeoff has got a lot of those angles in small little buildings that you can use as cover. Irfan J doesn't care about those buildings. Makes quick work of Whoopi instantaneously. Idra trades out Jeff Pro. It's a 1-to-1 trade so far. Heaven spots out 1. Backs away, but still manages to punish Kendi. The game of numbers now. Not looking good for the side of Smart Omega. Risky and Idra. Idra, great at anchoring down certain positions, but now plays the game of sustenance for the players of Smart Omega. Risky from up top though. Looking for that bomber. Turns around the corner. Irfan J timing is just bad for Risky. And Irfan J bags him.
Oh, well, this is a tough matchup here for Idra, but he knows he can get it done. That's 3 kills now in this first round, but shut up on the backup. Cleans it up in this round number 1. AMT gets that first blood conversion. They take this round number 1 and talk about how it's evenly distributed here for AMT. You know, Irfan J with that first blood, shut up with that 1 snap and that 1 pistol, and Heaven cleans it up on that launch center. But talk about how Smart Omega, Idra's the only player that created the place there, and you know, he needs to step it up here one more time. And there it goes. Incendio gets the first blood. Risky will be traded, and Heaven continues to play great in this matchup, just chaining off the momentum that he had in that hard point. And Rage will be able to find 1 player in the scaffolding as well. So we have a 3v3 situation here. Still anyone's game.
You just gotta respect every single team in Garena, man, because these guys are just playing Call of Duty Mobile. a whole other level. Almighty and Smart Omega just really doesn't get better than this now, does it? From the side of MSP, both crazy representatives. Almighty making it through to the grand finals for the eastern side. And in terms of Smart Omega, let's see if or not they can wrap things up here. Irfan J, good engagement. Now, we do apologize for all of these technical difficulties with the little bits of lags here and there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are trying to sort it out in the background. A little bit of a downside as we get to miss the final engagement.
Such an anticlimactic there for that round number 2, you know. Things just slowed down, literally slowed down. Or when we see that game ends. And well, AMT and Smart Omega, they just go back and forth. But one thing more than likely that AMT wants to put in this matchup in this round number 3 is put that bomb at the A side. And well, Omega will be prepared for those gunfights. And now as we go and stack, Jeff Pro deals the first kill. And Rage off the very good timing there. He could land that kill. And there it goes. Heaven gets traded. We got a 4v4 matchup.
Every time I speak, it lags, man. What in the world? Like, the universe telling me, slow down, Mustachio, slow down. Risky, frozen in time, Incendio in front of him. Hey! Slides away!
Oh, what?
I don't know how you did that.
Oh, well, Whoopi, no, it's one more player down. And it's a 1v1 against Clutch King Irfan J. The bomb needs to get defused here. But Irfan J just holding on the tight end. As soon as he swings, this could be elimination. Whoopi now lost in time. This should be game. Irfan J for the cleanup gets that final blow. And AMT, they get the bomb down. They get the win as well. Smart Omega starting off very cranky in here. Whoopi still down here with 1 kill while his counterparts have been in shot up already combining for 5.
Garena Masters, they couldn't cut it. Maybe down here at stage 4 where it truly matters the most. Can Almighty get the dub and move on? Hardpoint was one of the greatest battles of their lives. 250 to 245, all thanks to Incendio. And speaking of the guy, he managed to take Risky out of the equation. Heaven dropped by Kendi. And Kendi now, good power position, held on, needs to win this fight. And he does exactly that. Shut up, taken out of the equation. Game of numbers now to the side of Smart Omega.
Now, you just have to convert in here. But again, that defense at that A side is quite chaotic. But it's a good thing that Whoopi was able to open things up. But Irfan J on the launch center will be able to find Rage. And again, Clutch King. Jin's on the line. Kenny gets his 3 kills. He spots the first player. Now, Kendi, unfortunately, was there for that gunfight. And Omega will be able to get that trade. Again, back and forth we have in here. And the first box continues to be disregarded by both ends. They just are so good with the way they trade those first blood. So with that said, you can really tell the team play and how prepared this team is when it comes to fighting back. And well, round number 5 opens up. And again, AMT doing the exact same setup here. Number 1 in Heaven on that second floor, while 3 players drop around the launch base center.
Heaven plays the KSP this time around. No double snipe setup advantage that we were anticipating for the side of Almighty. And Heaven, just with the 2 slays so far, needs to start asking himself the tough questions. Is this a good strategy? Does he still want to keep his push with the KSP? Because he has to deal with a lot of firepower. Same KSP supremacy from the side of Smart Omega. Rage and Idra thin down the herd. Whoopi drops Jeff Pro. The game of numbers on the side of Smart Omega as they pull forth. Too much of time on the clock to get the defusal. They can run around in a few circles first before even going there. Idra, good defusal from him in a timely manner. And Almighty now will still have to figure out if this strategy of making sure Heaven pushes in with the KSP is a sound one.
You know, the timing's not really there for Heaven to begin with. And just maybe try to use him with that scope, you know, take total advantage of the ability of Heaven to knock down shots with that DLQ-33. But again, you know, all down to how well you adapt in this type of situation. So when Omega, Risky, and Rage will just be pulling up with the gun down, 3 players down for AMT, and starting to see the difference. Smart Omega now fighting tooth to the nail. Dropping those first 3 initial kills is going to be very beneficial as they look to find their 4th round win in this round number 6. But if things are going to get tougher from here on out, as Irfan J still very much alive in this game, and AMT needs to slow it down. But notice how, if ever Shut Up in Irfan J decides to create that push at that A bomb site, number 2 in Kendi's prime position to get that flank to happen. So right now, AMT needs to find a way and solve by taking down players up front, which is going to be very beneficial to get that opening, either the A bomb side. And well, Shudder was looking to find those initial picks, but not really able to find any information just yet. Rage will be proning in there, and Shut Up now gets the opener. That's what this team needs, AJ.
Yeah, too good, man. The quick scopes from Shut Up. There's a menace to deal with. And now he's just so patient, so cool, calm, and collected as he spots out angle after angle. Two players goes in for the challenge. Shut Up still not taken out of the equation just yet. Holds on to a good corner. Irfan J manages to strike down Kendi, only to be traded out by Rage. Shut Up final survivor, but this time round, Whoopi opens his eyes and puts Smart Omega ahead a little bit more.
4-round win for Omega, 4 kills for Whoopi. That's going to be a great start for them. A 2-round lead. And just notice how smart Omega is calculating their aggressiveness. Often of the times they send out Kendi at the spawn of the enemy, way behind enemy lines just to create the flanks. But now we are going to switch the sides this time. So Omega is going to initiate the attacks and they get to dictate where the bomb will go. Incendio, huge gunfight there to bring AMT with that man advantage. Now just going to capitalize. Irfan J almost lost his life right there, and Rage way behind enemy lines now. This should be big, AJ.
Rage, it's all about the timing, and it's all about him just playing this silent, sneaks around. Skulker, dead silence. You know, that's the perfect combo. Just gotta continue walking. Manages to sneak, gets a double! Big kills by Rage. But Incendio trades out Whoopi. This is that opportunity for the players of Smart Omega to just play for trades. Rage will still continue to be the damage dealer from the back. Shut Up taken out of the equation. Incendio with a slow push up front. Incendio with the prone takes Idra out of the equation. Final player, Rage. He's done so well already. If he gets the 2 kills, it's an ace clutch for this guy. But can he get the job done? Incendio, great tag, slides away. Concuss a little bit too late, and Incendio fires off those final shots. Rage shut down. Incendio, still insane to deal with on the battlefield.
Oh, well, he's the player. A matter of the fact on that last hardpoint matchup that they did play against Smart Omega, but well, that play there secures AMT their 3rd round win and avoid Smart Omega taking that 3-round lead. And that's going to be very monumental here for AMT. Honestly, they lose that round, things will spiral out of control. And well, for Smart Omega in that last round, you know, they already had the number advantage. Rage went in for the flank, but notice how they weren't really able to push that bomb with the way Heaven and Incendio was able to push out around that mid-map. And well, looking to be the same exact setup here for Smart Omega. They want that bomb at that A side, so they dropped Kendi on that launch center while putting 3 players allocated towards mid-map and number 5 in Idra, controlling that 2nd floor to spot out any players moving around the generator. So this is a exact same exact setup that they did have in that last round. They just have to execute better in here.
Whoopi, the timing couldn't be worse for him. Right again. More! Quick scope this time. Bags Incendio. Jeff Pro knows his position. 1 nade isn't going to be forcing Jeff Pro off of it just yet. But the flank here from Shut Up might just be the death of Whoopi. It's all about the timing as well as the angle that Shut Up holds on to. Downstairs and no go. Upstairs on scaffolding, but Whoopi's repositioned already. Spots the player out and fantastic follow with a crosshair. Kendi snuffed out this time around. 2 great snipers going up against each other on the battlefield. What a matchup, Callie.
Yeah, this is a delight. And of course, a treat for everyone that's watching in here right now. You see the exact same lineup for Shut Up now. He spots Risky with that 50 GS. Wins that. The bomb down though. 40 seconds left. Omega now has to get that post-plant defense properly done. Shut Up almost got that kill, but Whoopi gets that player gunned down, and Omega now having the number advantage. We get a 3v2. AMT Jeff Pro and Irfan J needs to clutch this one. Going to be a huge kill in here. I don't know if that's going to be the same exact play. Whoopi is in a prime position to get that kill on the 2nd floor. And Omega, they did their mappings in here greatly, taking full control of the verticality of the map. Well, 5-3. Still a 2-point lead here for Smart Omega.
5-3. Smart Omega slowly peeling away. Rage is stepping his gameplay up. And no matter what sort of damage Incendio as well as Irfan J brings into this matchup, that's all just equalized. A good setup out of Smart Omega. Risky's the only one struggling to find those frags on the side of Smart Omega. But this time around, good tags. Incendio. But quickly, Risky puts him down. Jeff Pro and Irfan J trades them out, only for Risky to step things up once again. Back and forth we go. Risky sneaks away. Jeff Pro sustaining the life. But that hit glitch is not played this time around as Idra gets the timing against him. 2 final survivors for the side of Almighty.
Alongside his flank here from Heaven, by the way, he's going to have to move around the scaffoldings where Whoopi is going to be the up top. And AMT just needs to convert here. Whoopi get the shot down against Shut Up. Now good read. Now the 50 GS comes through. Just needs to reposition with that huge 2 kills. Now we got a 1v1 bomb yet to be planted in here. Smart Omega down to Idra. Can he convert to get that match point? Here we go, AJ.
Idra, this time around, I'm not going to call it a concuss. Heaven, timing. Oi, Idra, how? Too good, man. Dodges it, sidesteps the shots of Heaven, and I'm actually surprised Heaven did not get the shutdown there. Peacekeeper up against the KSP. Peacekeeper won that out. Fantastic play. And this is match point by the Filipinos. Smart Omega 6-3. Let's see if they can sneak one away for themselves.
And you know, AMT, they took care of their own map pick. Now, for Smart Omega, this is going to be muchly needed for them to equalize the series advantage. 1-1. Rage now on the flank once again. He's been so good at knocking all of these shots, and he continues to add and inflict more, cutting the cross now, hurting the heads of their opponents. Just needs to find one more. And AMT Incendio, while it's going to wrap around the back, will be able to get shot down. A good read back and forth by Smart Omega. And now AMT is lost in the matchup. Down to their final two players. This might just be the round. Smart Omega takes away this SND, but Shut Up says no, not today. Gets one more player off the window. Whoopi takes him out, and Whoopi shuts the final two players down, and Omega takes.
Always covered, and that one guy that usually, you know, is brave enough to flank around the back lines of the enemies is usually the guy that walks away with the most frags. And we saw that one round where Rage truly made good use of that overextension. Good on him. But as we head on into game number 3, this is now Control. And usually it is Almighty that has that almighty control on this game mode. Out of 6 matches played so far at stage 4, they've got 6 wins. Let's see if they can make it 7.
Undefeated so far in the matchups here at Garena Stage 4. And to add in a bit more information on that, you know, Garena Stage 3, it's going to be 15-0, and while we continue to be it that way, AMT is going to start to kick things off in the matchup with adding 2 players in that B side, while they're going to put Omega on that mid map. So that's going to be one interesting take. So while we go in and of course have a little bit of the mixer inside this matchup, Heaven will be able to find 2 huge kills roping around that gas station, or not really the gas station, but on that swimming pool. But finally, Smart Omega gets to find a way to get an ingress right through A, but they're also stacking the players in at this B side. So that means they're trying to initiate a divide and conquer with number 5 in yellow, actually finding ways to distract and turn the heads of AMT, and Rage still faced that gunfight. And well, Smart Omega has been having a rough time on this defensive side, and every time a player falls in here, AJ, makes things harder for the push of Omega to work.
And let's see if or not Whoopi can continue popping off in this exact same way. Yes, it is Control, not SND. You've got respawns, but if you've got those long angles all covered up, like the one and only Whoopi can, then you get a opportunity to move in front. But it is a 10 life deficit for Almighty. Heaven, as he continues popping off with the KSP, will continue to down their lives. And this is just a perfect defensive round at raid for the Lion City representing Almighty. With 12 seconds to go, it looks like this is just a little bit too late. Big fight here for Risky. He just needs to win it against Heaven. He does not. And that's about game over in the first round.
A very great defensive round here for AMT. As the clock runs out, it's going to be the first round for AMT. And well, the major factor in here was they were able to maintain and sustain the attacks from Smart Omega on that B control point. And when Smart Omega decided to fail things over at B, they tried to attack at A with actually Idra set out in there. They weren't really able to find enough ingress, and Heaven started to pop off. And of course, initiate those pawn trap and Shut Up now with this sniper, going to equalize and get this mid-map control, while Omega will be starting on the defensive side. Irfan J trying to line him up, but there's not going to be any opening that will be created in the matchup for now. But Shut Up now, shutting things down. Gonna snap in 2 players. Looking to find that one more player to actually open things up at this B control point, but that's not going to work at the moment, AJ.
Right, AMR is a little nasty out there on the battlefield. And Shut Up, 3 kills. Streak India, make that 4. Fantastic angles. Whoopi punished with a headshot, even though he was just crouching down. Not a problem at all for the accuracy of Shut Up. And now Almighty sneaking away that B control point. And it looks like Smart Omega has pretty much given up already in terms of the defense. Goes in for the split push, but only 2 players are trying to defend that B control point. Everybody else is going to make that investment for that A control point instead. And I feel like that was an unfortunate throw from the side of Smart Omega. They could have defended it a little longer.
And you know, with the time extending on forward, AMT is going to have more cards in their favor. Yeah, 1 minute and 48 to slay the final 18 lives here for Smart Omega. Or even better, they controlled that A control point, but now Idra is starting to lock things down, snapping on those 2 players. Lovely shot to connect, and that should buy enough time for Smart Omega to regroup back and defend this A control point, where in return, they're gonna do so. Huge follow-up in here, but they need to recover greatly because right now that live count advantage is not looking good. 21 live count for AMT. 1 minute and 24 seconds for Smart Omega to hold things down here at A side.
20 to 12, make that 20 to 11. And the players of Almighty just pretty dominating in this control matchup in terms of slays out there on the battlefield, in terms of ripping away control points, in terms of defending those control points. Almighty has been just super, has been perfect. But now they slow things down as Smart Omega smartens up. And they want to play the game of trades. Whoopi, with the Annihilator investment, gets the 3rd kill back-to-back. 4th one as well. Idra steps up, and slowly the momentum shifting. Whoopi gets the 5th slay onto Incendio, and Whoopi is still alive. Candy shuts down Irfan J. 8 to 11. Fantastic adjustment, and Smart Omega are right back in this. 35 seconds to go. Almighty now needs to rush over to that A control point, but time has just run out pretty much. Now they try to flank over from the central garden into kitchen, but annihilated as well in the hands of Kendi. Kevin as well as Shut Up stepping up for the team. Finally, they make their way to stop that clock. Let's see if they can sustain with 3 lives now, Callie.
Oh, well, Rage, huge gunfight there. Gets a huge follow-up, dropping Incendio, but they still got to work their way in here. Just working it up, lighting things in the matchup. 4 to 2 live count, 14 seconds left for AMT to contest. Heaven gets shot down. Now we are deadly equal. Whoopi needs to connect one more shot in here with that right to KMR. And well, 5 seconds is left and Whoopi gets one. That should be the dagger. They take a very great recovery at this round number 2. Remember, they were trailing so bad in the live count department. And Idra and Whoopi just pop off at that round 2. And what's just phenomenal with the way they held their ground up against AMT. And well, things are now starting to look good. Now they just have to continue lining these shots to connect. But again, AMT now starting on the defensive side, gets the huge double there for Shut Up, and well, make that triple for this team.
Oh, fantastic, man. Shut Up now, circling around. Let's see if he can push. You know, the overextension with the Annihilator is exactly the kind of play I do not like to see from the side of Almighty. But if they can streak themselves up, hell, why not? Beautiful engagement this time around, but just one small mistake punished by Whoopi. 27 to 21, 9 lives eaten up. Smart Omega make that 20, 10 lives now lost, but Whoopi manages to get a God nade trade right back. Jeffro thins the herd down a little bit more. 2 back-to-back slays. KSP cannot make it 3 as he gets taken down by Kendi. Heaven at the back though makes sure his rage goes down. Takes down Idra out of the equation as well. 25 to 16. What a defensive round hole for Almighty.
It's slightly an aggressive defensive performance right now for AMT. You know, they are able to cut the cross at that driveway, just removing the attacks at the B side. And well, for Omega, they are trying to get this A control point, which is going to be the hard part of this equation. And well, while they're using those smokes to actually cover grounds, it's not going to remove the fact that AMT is there for the hot Heaven now. 21 kills in the matchup, going to get that one more in the swimming pool, dropping Risky, and they take control once again. And 16 seconds left for Smart Omega to create the push. They haven't made any ingress just yet. So once again, this should be a round win for AMT unless they drop the ball in here. But with the way the pace of the game is just currently played, and well, AMT could just lock this down. 2 more seconds to hold here.
Yep, and then takedown on Risky finishes up the battle. The rest of the players is a little too fast spawning out from the Gorilla base. And the travel time is just a little too much for them to deal with. But now, Smart Omega on the defense. Will Almighty be able to sneak away? Another attacking side. It is an approach towards that B control point first off. 3 players going in for that push at the very same time. One holding on to Central Garden. That's going to be shut up. And then Rytek AMR once again eats rage. He's the first blood of this game. And the rest of them going ham against the players of Smart and Mega. Oh, but traded out by Risky as well as Whoopi. Fantastic hold. And that is it. The switch now comes through from the side of Almighty to focus on that A control point instead.
A key play here by Heaven, by the way. Now pops up the Annihilator. The spawn trap is going to get initiated, but needs to convert one. Converts the second. Now dancing with that operator skill. Finally, will be able to get shut down, but has been able to create that ingress, you know. The B control point is going to be opened up, and Irfan J's got that kitchen control. Now they're starting to make some progress in here. That 52 seconds is going to stop as they go down and get the first segment done at this B control point. Nice gameplay so far, you know. AMT's been able to control that mid-map, and I think that could be the key reason why this team has been able to create the play at the B control point, but not as far as we know, because Omega now already on the flank, AJ.
A little bit of a unfortunate announcement. Peanut and his girlfriend unfortunately met an accident just moments ago. Hopefully you guys can pray for their quick recovery, and nothing else is a complication for them. Fantastic content creator for the world of Call of Duty Mobile from the Philippines. Hopefully they are all safe. But as Almighty continues the fight here against Smart and Mega, let's see if or not they can sneak away this B control point. Just one guy getting all of the job done. Shut up. Let's see if he can get this shut down. Yes, that B control point will be snatched away. And Smart and Mega now just needs to focus on one. But with 11 lives left here, can Almighty get this done?
Oh, well, it's going to be very important for Almighty to actually win this matchup. But, you know, prayers are up for Peanut and, of course, and her girlfriend and his girlfriend. But then again, we have to continue moving forward here at this matchup. You know, AMT gonna have a deadlock on that 11 live count. Shut up, and his team is going to take control of the kitchen, and Risky with him shut down. Now the push is going to come true, and this is the perfect time to actually use those operator skills and those core shit for AMT, by the way. That Predator missile is going to be very beneficial to get some more lead in here for this squad. And now Kendi brings out his own big pistol. This play right here is going to be the proving factor for this team to win this matchup, and Kendi continues to convert but finally get shut down. We get a 5v5 here, AJ.
5v5. This is an SND legit right now. First frag for Smart Omega. Will your statistics come through? Because this is that SND matchup. And that first blood. Oh, equalized by Incendio. The investment for the Annihilator is super timely. Anybody that he spots out now is to be annihilated as well. Irfan J needs to spot the corner. Does not do that. Kendi engages Rage, finishes him off. It's a 1v1. Kendi, can he get it? Shut up drops Whoopi. And that was what made this into a 1v1. And it's an intense moment now between the two as Almighty continues picking away at the control point. God Nade gives Smart Omega the opener into the 5th round. It's all equal in control, and this is the first time we see someone fight and make sure Almighty struggles at control like this.
This could be the first time AMT could drop the ball in this control game, but you know, it just could be their rival. Omega just taking this away, but it's a good thing that AMT will be starting on this 5th round on the defending side, and they also have a score streak that would be highly available. Talking about the Texas 1 Goliath that could be later on. Irfan J just lining him up, open things up for AMT, but finally the trades will go through Smart Omega, but it's only going to be number 3 in yellow, Rage inside that hill, and Heaven is going to continue to slay. 34 kills in the matchup. Now controlling this art room, gonna drop down Whoopi, almost a snap back from the back, and well, it's not going to pan truly for him side. Well, it's going to be 25-20 the live count in favor for AMT. A minute and 14 seconds for Smart Omega to try to create an ingress at both of the side.
The last time we saw a 5-round control for Almighty was against the players of Dunia Games, but Irfan J was a monster in that match as well. 1.85 KD, and they secured it towards the very end. Heaven trying to swing around. The Annihilator pressure. You know, once again, I keep seeing Almighty make the same mistake again and again. They get super aggressive with the Annihilator all the time, and most of the time they get punished for it. I just want to see a little bit more safer plays, and perhaps they will be able to gain more lives. But with the way they're slaying out there on the battlefield, it doesn't seem like they are going to be punished. Oh my goodness, Irfan J, long shot, headshot onto Whoopi. Takes him out of the equation altogether. And Swimming Pool once again in the safe hands of Almighty.
Oh, well, this is the perfect time to actually take this game away, you know. 21-11 live count. And just AMT, a great play here, by the way. They just let go of the control at the B control point, just sending out one player. That's going to be Heaven. 20-10. The life count is going to favor AMT, but there's going to be time extended for Smart Omega to come back. But to what cost? They got to invest those operators greatly. But again, the challenge is going to come true with that XS1 Goliath defending the point. And now that, oh my, perfectly timed there for AMT, AJ. 18-7. This should be their match. This should be a map win now for AMT with the way they are able to hold off every angle in this match.
Shut Up just wants to say hello to my XS1 Goliath, but nobody is allowing any of the Smart Omega players near that XS1. Shut Up's disappointed. He wants a couple of kills. Jeff Pro says, no, you continue waiting, gets the slay. Whoopi trades him out. Rage invests in that Annihilator, but XS1 Goliath playing hide and seek behind Tiki. 57 seconds to go, but 2 more lives for Smart Omega. This one's done and dusted. Almighty should have this in the bag already. Who's gonna challenge and fight and take down this XS1 Goliath? We'll still need to wait and see. But even though that XS1 goes down, that Annihilator setup for Shut Up just guarantees them that win. But Heaven says, calm down. We don't need to go that far. Mighty, and they nearly got punished. And therefore, they woke up in the final round. They got serious in there, right? And you have to remember, if you are Almighty, you have to be serious 24/7 when you're going up against Smart Omega. Because this is the kind of team, this is the team that has the quality to punish you when you make mistakes.
And now we are about to load into the game. Smart Omega now down in the series. Can they initiate the comeback to win this best of 5? While AMT is going to start to kick things off right through the mid map. You're going to see number 3 in Irfan J cutting the middle map of the already, going in for that pinch play, and they're going to be very successful. Irfan J instead gets back-to-back kills, and wow, what a great opener right now for AMT. They bully out Smart Omega immediately, force them to spawn split, and that's going to be them making sure that Omega is going to have a really rough time. Shut Up's just killing it out here. 3 in a row, AJ.
Yeah, back-to-back slays. Shut Up, make that 4. Finally gets taken down by Risky. Great engagements by Almighty, and they still have got the firepower and the manpower to supply all of those points out of this first hard point, but finally gets traded out by the players of Smart Omega. 2 taking that backstep from Mattel should be able to secure this now, and Almighty right back on, but the game of numbers won out by Smart Omega. 15 seconds to go, which means Smart Omega can get the lead in this matchup before we even head into P2, and an early rotation from Almighty into P2. I mean, I like those early rotates, but that's just a little too premature for me.
Yeah, man, literally playing for map control here for for AMT, but again, with them giving up this final scrap time, Smart Omega will be able to take that lead. And well, it's going to be a 50-50 battle here at this P2. And while it continues to be in favor for AMT, they are slowly losing their life inside the hill. And Omega's now slowly pulling off the attacks. But wow, what a great place for Shut Up so far in this matchup. That's continuously being the bane of Smart Omega. And while it continues to be that way, Heaven will be able to cut the cross even more. The perimeter defense is just too strong, and Smart Omega can't seem to break that. But finally, they remove Heaven. Now they're able to secure a move inside, and that pinch play just worked perfectly, but to what cost? They got taken down immediately, and well, going to slow it down here even more. 51-24 in this matchup. Still AMT on that lead. And if you're Smart Omega, you gotta think fast, you know. Are you going to contest the final bit of scrap time, or are you gonna make the push already into the next hill? And it seems like Smart Omega will do the latter round, just opting for better map control for a potential money hill once again, AJ.
You might think that it's a lag, but actually we are slowing down the feed just so that we can see, you know, some of those amazing wall bangs come through from the players as well. I mean, it's just taking production up to another level. Look at this. Slow-mo for Heaven as he turns around outside of Granny's. This is the first floor to engage with Kendi. And we pause the matchup for you guys just to see his composition. A double Preddy eaten up, and it looks like Insane Dio wants to get a little bit more insane. And Heaven holding on to that angle was fantastic, but you don't need no slow-mo for that. Whoopi is on fire as he steps it right back onto Granny's, and the numbers here stacked up by Smart Omega. I love this.
It's a big play, by the way. You know, this final 15 seconds should be belonging to Omega, as AMT will fully disregard this scrap time. And well, they're going to invest a very early XS1 Goliath into this matchup moving into P4. That could be a big play, but that could be the downfall once again, as the hard point is going to open up AMT is going to have that gas station control. They just have to worry about that mid map and of course that box's entry. And well, the hard point opens up and AMT is going to be inside the hill. They just gotta stand a little bit more fight in here. Jeb Pro and Shut Up just continues to lock things down in here, AJ.
Say hello to my XS1, says Incendio. He turns around, takes Whoopi out of the equation. And Bakery, this is gonna be that money hill for Almighty. Can they hold on to all of the fights in here? XS1 Goliath, the investment into Bakery just allows you to hold on to that stairs. And he sneaks away. Kendi goes in for the investment onto the Annihilator, but Shut Up eats them up. Two Supreme players taken out from the side of Smart Omega, all thanks to that Pretty. Rage activates the Annihilator, but gets annihilated himself in the hands of Heaven and his KSP. 117 to 56. Irfan J, Clutch King turns around, gets taken out. A double for the XS1 and Incendio. Biding his time, waiting for his moment to pop off. And that was the signal. When the rest of his team members go down, the XS1 pops off. And this was a fantastic play finally. Almighty picking up all of the points here. A majority for the side of the Singaporeans.
And somebody called the cops, AMT just robbed a lot of money there for Smart Omega on that P4. And well, it's not going to be that easy from here on out. Smart Omega, they gotta come back here. Almost a 100-point lead. And AMT continues to chain the hard point, getting it all the time in P4. And they open up this P1 with them actually claiming the time. But you see some fight in there for Smart Omega. But it's going to be a great fight. And AMT just continues to slay. Always cuts the rotation. And every time they do that, it makes things harder for Smart Omega to push inside the hill. And now, best time to use that operator. The only player alive inside the hill for AMT. And that's going to buy his teammates some time to put inside the rotation and the reinforcements. And well, this is just perfect plays lining up for AMT. They just can't seem to fall. They are just that strong, AJ.
Yeah, Clutch King, I mean, the guy just goes ham against the players of Smart Omega, even whips out the Hunter-Killer drone, final few seconds, still extends his time on the hill, buys a lot of time for the rest of his team members to hop on right back there with him, and Heaven slays them where they stand. How are we seeing this quality out of Almighty? Smart Omega absolutely dominated. No 50-point club, but the 100-point club might just be the ticket that Almighty hands over.
This is going to be a likely probable thing that you can see happening. You gotta expect the worst in this matchup because AMT is lining him up. Although Heaven's only got 20 kills in here. Look at the difference that Incendio actually impacts the game. When you are able to have your backbone, your glue guy to actually play great, you're guaranteed to have a really great time. It makes things much easier for you. 30 kills right now for Incendio. And everybody doubts him, but right now he's showing off and being that game changer for AMT. As they continue to lock things down inside his hill, they continuously win the gunfight as well. Heaven shuts things down. He's put one more player, 4 in a row. These guys are for real, AJ.
Oh, amen, brother. 220 to 59. Smart Omega absolutely clamped down. And the Lion City representing Almighty. So close now to striking them down, kicking them down into the lower brackets. And it looks like Smart Omega can't do jack about it. 233 to 59. This is way too much that they've given away to the Lion City representatives. And it looks like a comeback might just be impossible unless Smart Omega is made out of miracles. The question is this the quality of a double coach setup? Smart Omega needs to be better than this. The engagement, the strategy, the rotations have been extremely soft. And down at the lower brackets, they now risk elimination. To fight their way back against the Lion City representatives is going to be quite the high hill to climb. But it looks like they are doing one heck of a job. Smart Omega, they hold on to P2, but P3. The early rotation into the money hill of Almighty. You can see that setup already. They don't want to contest this P2 because they know exactly how tough it is going to be for Smart Omega to make their way back.
And well, it's going to be, they have to get one more 150 points, in fact, straight, unless they are able to drop AMT one by one with that gunfights. And well, it's going to be the final 8 seconds in here. And this could just decide whoever wins this series. It's going to be the Pred dropping one player there. 2 players making their way from Smart Omega on the boxes as split play comes true. And now the break is on. The hard point opens up. Everybody's contesting. And AJ, it's going to be AMT inside the hill.
Yes, sir. It's going to be Almighty in the hill and potential finisher as well. Lion City representing Almighty. They couldn't get it done at stage 3. They don't care. They want to get it done at stage 4. 248, 249. Almighty slay Smart Mega. Soak up all of that pressure. Whenever the team takes an L, it's on him. Whenever the team does well, it's on the team. You know, that's one of the unfortunate parts of being a leader out there on the battlefield. And you got to be absolutely shocked as to how he has managed to overcome all of that pressure and still perform ultimately well on the battlefield. I mean, just respect, man. RESPECT spelled out well. Respect Incendio for the amount of effort that he puts out there on the battlefield.
And anyways, we will not be talking about that, but we will go to the brackets for the meantime. And well, Smart Omega, they faced their mightiest opponent in the group stage, AJ, going up against WDC Free Slot on that playoffs.